On my knees, cause the police watching me, the police watching me, yeah. Will I survive living in the city streets where I've been hustling my most life, yeah. Can you understand how real my life? Can you feel the pain I feel inside? Look in my eyes. Woo. I just want to live a normal life. Hey, school could not hold me. My mama couldn't control me. Just a young scrub growing up. Ooh, the music came and changed me. Expand myself through melody. Feel the real me inside of me. I've been hustling most my life. Understand how real my life. Oh, can you feel the pain I feel what? Look in my eyes. I just wanna hey. Live. Woo. Live. Somebody said Santa. Y'all scared. Y'all scared. Y'all scared. Y'all done did too much research. Loosen up a little bit. Somebody said Santa. That ain't good enough. That was okay, but I said somebody said Santa. That's all we got in here. If James Brown was alive, somebody said Santa. 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 Finally. Peace and blessings. My name is King Malachi. Love each and every one of y'all. Black.
I'm shooting gold these days.
No, they'll give you a license.
Accountable for nothing. So I'm saying.
Seriously, because family out here, alright, so yeah, alright, so we're gonna make this
Come together now collectively and try. You either come out if you have a business, and most of us know.
Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cockpit, straight to the spaceship. Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cockpit, straight to the spaceship.
Ready to chase me, I cool back in these cage. These ready to chase me, I
Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cotton field, straight to the spaceship. You could blow the nose off, that won't change it. Obamacare won't heal all that anguish. We came a long way from the bottom of the boat. All praise to the Mac D, we found our language. Gold necklace, middle finger erected. God, Travis Shabazz, styling on the record. Lost sons of Muhammad, we wildin' in the record. The Shadu Allah and Lahad is the message. All these niggas, I got to fight one. All these devils, I got to strike some. All these rebels just waiting on the war cry. Mama said, son, you got to strike drum. Rock nation, celebration, motivation, elevation. Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cotton field, straight to the space. Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cotton field, straight to the space. Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cotton field, straight to the spaceship.
Everything you see out there is not tyranny from white supremacy. It's the individual choices that they continue to make. They will fight with you over their pork chop sandwich, am I right? They will fight with you over their beer, alcohol, drugs, cocaine. They will fight with you over that stuff. Am I right? So I let them have your pork and you have what you want within your own community. When the police whoop your ass, call me and I'll come out and help. When it's a nationalistic circumstance, what needs to be addressed from a nationalistic perspective, then I'm there. But all the culture gangbanging, we don't have time for that, man.
That's right.
I'm gonna teach you the truth, but you gotta do you. You gotta act the truth out on your own. Most of our organizations, which why we don't get the masses of power, is because we always trying to gangbang other people's culture and behavior. I don't have time for that, man. If you want that pork chop that bad, eat it. I'm not gonna fight you over your pork chop. I could be drinking me a cup of green tea or something, and I'm here arguing with you over a pork. Well, go get your goddamn pork chop, man. But that don't mean I don't love you, and then I'm not gonna stand with you against the enemies that are against all of us. You follow? So that's the position I make. So that's why people say, oh, you need to be in the streets. If we end up in these streets, it is gonna be some street shit. Right now, we out in the country, the black supremacists. We don't come to the city. Because if we get out here in the city and like y'all said, pave these streets, y'all hear about it on the news. It was warfare in the West End. Black supremacists came over there and these brothers did this, they shut that down, they ran the Arab up out of there and we saw them niggas run and they ran over there. Y'all don't want to see that. Y'all don't want to see that. So we respect the cultural paradigm of our community. We become so conscious, we act like that our people in America don't have their own culture. Everybody in America ain't trying to go back to Africa or becoming an African. Let's be honest, right? They're not trying to do it. So for you to impose that is warfare. So take those among us who do want to do it and who want to defend it being done, because if you can have your own gay community, I'm sure we can have a black supremacy community somewhere, right? So take those that want to do it and want to support it, get them together, and let's build our own and be an example for the rest of the race. And then organize and unify with them on issues where they will allow us to come into their community and provide service for them, security and defense. That's the best we can do. Otherwise, we're wasting resources and time fighting against our own people. That's what we come of it. The resources we could spend banging on the enemy, we'll be spending banging on our own people. So that's our position. So I want to come out and support this. Minister Inky invited me out. And when people invite me out, I try to come out and show support and do whatever I can do. I don't have to agree with everything everybody say here. People don't have to agree with everything I say. But I know the spirit of what the brother's doing here is a good spirit. I'm wise enough to know that Brother Nasi has a very good spirit. I don't give out false, I don't false accreditation to people. But I know the first time I met that brother in person, he had a good spirit. And I support that. The rest, we'll work that out. Our different ideas. But let's stay focused on who our enemy is. You follow? I want us to do that. And Minister Inky is a science of black supremacy. He can break down black supremacy scientifically. I respect that, man. He could go open up that book, but a lot of them words is too big for a lot of us. Right. Some of us, in order to realize white supremacy, you ain't gonna know that till you standing in front of that crack and you feel that little feeling in you. That's black supremacy. Right. You don't need no dictionary. That's an old feeling. That's an old feeling. Before, you little English. When you stood next to that crack and you felt that little feeling, that's black supremacy. It ain't that goddamn deep. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are within yourself. So I don't want people to be ostracized based on their level of intelligence or their level of articulateness to feel outside of the movement because they don't understand the words. They don't want to become a biologist or a scientist. That there's no place for them here. There's a place for you in black supremacy. If you're willing to stand for your people and stand up for who you are, even if you ain't read enough books to articulate it yet, there's a place for you to stand. Am I right? Right. You ain't got to be no goddamn genius to know who your enemy is and have love for your people. Right. You don't have to be no culinary scientist, biologist, none of that. You just got to have a real, sincere, burning love for your people where you're willing to die and give your life if necessary for the defense of your nation and your people. That's all you need. If you got that, come on online. The rest will work itself out. I want to thank you all for inviting me. That's all I have to say. Black supremacy.
After King was assassinated, we had folks that rose up like Jesse Jackson, hijacking Jesse Jackson, who snatched up an organization called the Rainbow Coalition, which was started by Chairman Fred Hampton of the Black Panther Party, right? Took everything about it. They went from I am a revolutionary to I am somebody, right? Then from there, you had other state operatives. You got folks like Al Sharpton, who I often talk about, and so many people get pissed off because of the fact that they think Reverend Al is the truth, right? They say, well, Reverend Al has this radio show and he talks about keeping it real. That nigga ain't never kept it real. Only thing he kept it real was wearing real wires. Right. Setting real people up.
Yeah, real permed out.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, I'm the real perm. Going from real fat to real skinny. Right. With Botox or whatever. This Negro right here was caught on wire, on video, trying to buy a Kia Coke. This is a fact. Anybody know about that?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Real Sports did a piece on it. He got mad, he sued them. The state made them take it down so it won't be aired anymore. You can't find it on YouTube or none of that type of stuff because of the fact that because he works for the state, and yeah, I'm going on record saying he works for the state. Because he works for the state, he was able to pull some numbers. You can find videos of anything nowadays, especially on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But you'd be hard pressed to find that particular piece because of the fact that he's a pawn for the establishment. How many people you know, how many black folks you know, can get caught trying to buy a Kia Coke? And it disappears like nothing happened.
Might be in my Facebook history.
Huh?
Might be in my Facebook history.
Right. So he went from that. Then he wore a wire to set Don King up. Then he wore a wire to try to set up Assata Shakur. Now, some of y'all are looking like, well, you know, y'all just, you know, where's the proof on that? Check his book out. Go Tell Pharaoh. Page 138 and 139. He said he wore a wire. Don't take my word for it. Check out what he talking about. Okay? Now, how can you go from getting caught on camera buying a Kia Coke or trying to buy a Kia Coke, which he said, you know, he wasn't trying, he was trying to set him up, to trying to set folks up in the black community. Admitting you wore a wire to being the #1 voice on television and radio in the so-called activism circle. How do you do that? I couldn't do that. You can't do that. You can get caught with a vial of crack. You get about 25 years back in the 80s, right?
You done.
Well, he trying to buy a key. Okay, cool. He ran for president, right? Got down with the Democratic Party. You got to do your research. You got to research. You got to study. You got to see what's going on here, right? Of course, he was Jesse Jackson's godson. I mean, not Jesse Jackson. James Brown's godson. All this other crazy stuff. My point is this right here. You got a cat like that who ends up with an MSNBC TV show, okay, with a syndicated radio show. For doing what? What has he ever done? What has he ever done? Besides exploit black folks, right? I'm gonna leave Al alone because it's unfair. Most of you that saw me before, y'all heard me talk about Jesse and Al, right? Cool. So we're gonna leave them alone. You have other Negroes like Ben Jealous from the NAACP.
Is he even black?
I don't know what he is.
No, he's Jew.
But Ben Jealous is supposed to be black. This particular Negro right here, you have the NAACP that's been around since how long?
Too long.
1914, 1913, somewhere around there. And to this day, they've done absolutely nothing for our community. Now we know that they didn't start, it wasn't started by black people, it was started by 2 Jews and a black person, we know that, right? But we expect that if you still colored in 2014, then if you're gonna give an image award out, you're not gonna give it to a cracker. You got the NAACP giving image awards to white boys like Robin Thicke. Now Robin Thicke, maybe he's honorarily black because of the fact that he was screwing a black woman,